So today, as you noticed, we're going our lessons about vocabulary. Sorry, guys. But we're going to start with, it's going to be Thanksgiving theme. The vocab isn't just because I decided to find more difficult vocabulary. I decided to find more difficult vocabulary because the vocab I would have used that was themed would have been too easy for you guys. So I just picked random words that have nothing to do with Thanksgiving, but it's just for the feel of it. So first of all, what do you guys think is the story of Thanksgiving? Like, let's talk about Thanksgiving.
Okay, well, it was when the Pilgrims had that first dinner with the Native Americans.
Pilgrims came to the Americas, and there were these weird creatures that we had war with.
Because we were different.
Yes.
And that means difference is bad.
Yep.
So it has to be eliminated.
Sure.
They
And
were a
then?
different race, and so we couldn't get along.
Okay.
So we had wars.
Okay.
And then finally, for some stupid reason, they actually decided to get along. And they merged together, and they taught each other things and survived.
Okay.
Probably
So
not even true.
it's pretty good. So what happened was, I'm not going to start all the way from the beginning, but in 1624, I think it was the Pilgrims wanted to back away from the English religion, so they decided to go to the Americas, but something happened. Well, actually, first they went to the Netherlands and tried to establish a settlement there, but it didn't work out because they were too intense and too barbarian. So they went to the Americas, and something happened where they landed in Massachusetts instead of Virginia.
Yeah.
So that's where they established I think it's called Plymouth.
Mhm.
Is it
Plymouth Rock.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where they signed the Mayflower Compact, which is the first technical, governmental, official. It was them saying, hey, we're going to follow these rules before we sit down. Yeah. So when they got there, because most of them had traveled for a long time, I don't really know why they weren't as prepared as they should have. They got there and they had no food. So, and it was 6 weeks before winter. So by the time winter ended, half of them had already died. But then Squanto, have you heard of Squanto? Yeah. Squanto was a Native American that got sold as slavery to England. He lived in England for quite a few years. He actually got a job in England, from what I remember. And then he finally got sent back, and on his way to his tribe, he got stopped by the Spanish, and he was sold as slave to the Spanish. I think that's how I remember the story. And then he finally got back after like 20 years, and when he gets back, his whole tribe was wiped out from disease. So so he decided to live with the neighboring tribe, and in that process, that's when the Americans arrived, and he realized that they were struggling, so he went over to them, and through the tribe, they taught them how to plant corn and how to fish, and out of thankfulness for surviving, why did that happen? To thank them the next year, to thank them for that, how they decided to do Thanksgiving. And it was then declared as a national holiday by, I think it was Lincoln. Is it?
I don't know.
You know. Okay.
I know that Thomas B. Marsh, that gave the prayer at the first Thanksgiving feast.
Mm-hmm.
He's my great grandfather, yeah.
Cool.
Isn't that cool?
That is really cool.
Different links to the different though.
I like it. Okay. So, try and guess what those words mean.
Well, enormity probably has something to do with enormous.
Okay.
Large stature.
Okay.
That's an adjective.
Okay.
Or I guess it would be noun. It's in the enormity of something.
You could say that. Yeah. Okay. Keep
Yeah.
going.
Non-pulsed.
Nonplussed.
Something that has not been plussed.
Yes.
Say that much.
Okay.
That is negative.
Yes.
Okay.
I like a negative correlation.
Here
Ready.
you go.
Go. Okay.
A thorough search disclosed the full blank of the crime.
thorough search disclosed the full enormity.
Yeah, good job. That is what it is. He was blanked by the furor his words provoked.
Fervor?
Yeah, like the
I
chaos.
thought there was a V in that word, fervor.
He's unabashed.
Fervor. No, I've always heard of it.
Unabashed.
I've never. He was unabashed by the fervor.
He was unabashed. Yes, good job. He would be completely blank and embarrassed at the idea.
Aggrandized?
Wait, he would be completely what?
He would be completely blanked and
Uh-huh.
embarrassed at the idea.
And show it.
I think he's
Nonplussed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Should've went with the first instinct there.
And still blank democracy.
A still and show it democracy.
A still blank what was the rest of the sentence?
Blank democracy.
A still,
I haven't seen any of these.
a still.
What did you say?
Enjoy.
Wait, we need to write
Yeah,
the ones off that we've got. When we
Okay.
have done
Enormity, nonplussed,
And enjoy it.
where's that?
And unabashed.
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 And show it democracy.
It is introit.
Because I've heard it somewhere, I just don't know.
Okay, quintessential represents the most perfect or typical example of a quality or a class. So he was the quintessential tough
Perfect.
guy, strong, silent, and self-contained. There's a list at the end. So it's like the top of the class, the best example. She accepted the invitation with alacrity. Alacrity is a noun and it means brisk and cheerful readiness. She accepted it with alacrity. Yeah. Aggrandize, to enhance the reputation of someone beyond what is justified by the facts. He hoped to aggrandize himself by dying a hero's death.
We can figure it really is.
Mhm.
On fire. I got one definition out.
Martinet,
Or actually, I got unabashed.
a strict disciplinarian, especially in the armed forces. The woman in charge was a martinet who treated all those beneath her like children. Okay, we can take turns reading, or I can read it, whatever you guys want. The point is for you guys to take turns reading. But
Okay, let's take turns.
we can just start there. It's kind of a little long.
Let's start.
The top.
Just the top.
Are all these words used in there?
No.
The excitement about
I have
Thanksgiving
one.
was really
Two
building
separate.
that year. Grandma arrived early with a homemade pecan pie in one hand and a pound cake in the other. Dad was poking around in a cabinet, searching for his electric carving knife. Mama was in the kitchen tapping the
Tapping.
pots with a spoon and humming
Humming turkey
turkey.
in the
What the heck does that mean?
I guess
Little-
it's a song.
Oh, okay.
Oh, turkey.
Oh,
Sorry.
gotcha. Little Lonnie bounced up and down on his diapered bottom, keeping time to the music. Dad smelled the air and sighed. My big brother, Slim, who was anything but slim, sneaked off to his room with a slice of pecan pie. Even Fido was wagging his tail.
A mess, screamed Mama. What a mess. She ran around the table with a napkin, mad as a wet hen, wiping drips off turkey stock from her new white tablecloth. Finally, Mama settled down, and we all pulled our chairs back to the table. Dad looked at Mama. At least I saved the turkey, he said. Tucky leg, yelled Lonnie, bouncing and kicking in his seat. Tucky leg, tucky leg. All of us looked at the turkey. Lonnie was right. A turkey leg was missing. We looked around the room under the table at each other. We looked at Fido, who was standing at the toddler gate licking his lips. Little Lonnie began to cry softly, for he was the one who had expressed that he was most thankful for turkey legs. Just then a brown blob of turkey juice landed on a pilgrim and dripped down its costume. Everyone looked upward. There, balancing on the top of the chandelier, was a missing turkey leg. Clumsy ox, muttered Mom, under her breath. Under her ex. Okay. Well, that is the end of the lesson because we were going to write from the vocab that you learned before we read the story that was in the story. You would write a Thanksgiving short story with the vocabulary. And that is that. The
I've
end.
learned so much.
I have. She's an incredible teacher.
Thank you.